Mike Violet back on the pregame show here on The Score. Pleased to be joined by MESSALONSKEE Eagles field hockey coach Katie Brann as we move on to the playoffs. Katie, first of all, welcome. And secondly, congratulations on a fantastic regular season.
Thank you, and thank you very much for having me.
Our pleasure. You played some really good field hockey this year. We happened to see both of your games against Skowhegan. You beat them the first time. You lost to them the second time, and we're not here to concentrate on Skowhegan because Lewiston obviously is at the center of your mind today. But would you call this a successful regular season for you?
Definitely. This is my third year as the head coach at MESSALONSKEE, and every year we've placed a little bit higher. We've closed the gap between us and Skowhegan. So to get those results against them this year is just a testament to the girls that have worked really hard the past 3 years, and even the new girls joining us. So definitely a successful regular season.
You're about 3 weeks removed from playing this Lewiston team. You beat them 4-1 the first time. What went well in that game, and how were you able to beat them, aside from the obvious, you scored 4 goals and they scored 1?
That game, most of our goals came towards the end. We possessed the ball most of the game, and it just took us a while to find the net. But I think we were just persistent, and it also happened to be the day of our homecoming dance, which for any high school kid, that's a tough thing to separate out. So they kept their focus. They got the job done at the end there, and didn't kind of get frustrated with the lack of goals in the first half. So I think if we can kind of do the same thing, maintain possession, and hopefully score a little bit earlier, then we should be successful tonight.
You played some iron this year in your schedule. You played Mount Ararat, obviously a terrific team. You played that Winthrop Monmouth Maranacook team, which is really good. You played Belfast, and obviously twice against Skowhegan. So I'd say you're pretty battle-tested. Would you agree with that or disagree?
I would agree. Our non-conference matchups haven't been quite as challenging in the past as they were this year, which I think overall is a good thing. I think it was a good reality check for the girls to play those good B and C teams. And we always get Skowhegan twice, which is typically a good thing. So, yeah, I think that our record kind of reflects that, and it's a good thing.
Your game against Skowhegan the first time, again, I don't want to keep focusing on that, but my mind always comes back to that. I thought the way that you guys attacked and were the aggressors, you really put Skowhegan on their heels in that game. And I found it ironic that the next game, while not an easy opponent, that you lost the next game after playing so well against Skowhegan.
Yeah, I agree. That first game, I think we did catch them by a surprise a little bit. The surface does have a big effect on my team.
Right.
And I coach a turf game. The girls play a turf game most of the time, and we're having fewer and fewer grass games. So, that might show itself in our grass game at Skowhegan, but our next game against them, if we play them again, will be turf. So, there's some factors there, but I'm glad that it's going to be turf for sure.
I talked to your opponent coach today, Janessa Tallarico, about your team and about her team. They've won 3 straight games. She believes that their most impressive performance of the season came in their final regular season game in beating Edward Little. So I think they're probably playing better than they were when you played them. What do you recall about their game, and what kind of problems they present to you as an opponent?
Yeah, I know that they have a ton of seniors. I think it's something like 17. So anytime you have that experience and you have girls, that are fighting to not play their last game, that's a big level of energy that my team has to match. So, I think that could definitely help them tonight. And they just play really hard. Every game we've had with them the last 3 years has been a battle in one way or another. So they're not going to go down without a fight, and I certainly expect that tonight.
And I think the MESSALONSKEE field hockey program is at the point now where you're considered one of the best programs in the state, and I think a lot of teams play their best field hockey, or at least try to. They get up for you, in other words. Yeah,
I would totally agree. I try to remind my girls of that, especially after the Skowhegan win. We knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Again, that's a good thing. It raises the level of play, but it's also hard to come out and always be, at your 100% best every game. So, but we're happy to be in this position for sure.
The MESSALONSKEE Eagles about to tee it up against the Lewiston Blue Devils. Katie Brann, MESSALONSKEE Eagles field hockey coach. Thank you, Katie, for the time today. We appreciate it. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you very much.